Let the Eurovision Song Contest begin!
Welcome to a new kind of incarnation of the Douze podcast.
That's when you fantasy island.
I was about to say, I was hoping we weren't going to get any kind of wooing whatsoever this time around.
What? You'll miss the wooing when it's gone.
I might, yes. Cross that bridge when we get to it. So, as you all know, anyone who's listening to this, you might have listened to us before. This might be your first time. Where have you been, you lazy sods? But we are normally a Eurovision news, a yearly contest kind of, let's look at what's happening in 2020 kind of thing.
Are we?
And then a little bit of a walk back through the past.
You know what? We didn't start off that way. We started off just randomly talking Eurovision crap.
That's true. And then we never stopped and we kind of threw some news in there as well.
Well, that way we were building up to the 2020 and now it's kind of like twiddle your thumbs.
Right now. You never know how our petition's going to go.
Oh, tell people. People.
We're not the only ones to do it, but we're the only ones in this room to do it. We have started a little petition to the EBU, who, as you know, listen to you and me almost exclusively.
Well, I mean, let's be honest, if they had, they wouldn't be in the predicament that they are
we
now.
did say back in December,
Eurovision.
Get ready, it's coming. You were way ahead of the curve. You were ahead of the World Health Organization.
Hell yeah.
And so we decided, don't cancel it. If we're all staying home, and by the way, if you're listening to this podcast and you're not at home, go the fuck home right now.
Unless you're an emergency essential worker.
Unless you're doing like surgery at the moment.
Workplace.
Wasn't about you.
Yeah.
We've started a little petition. It's just called Save Eurovision 2020.
Yes. Hashtag
Uncancel
Eurovision.
Because if we all stay home, the World Health Organization says this will be over by June, July, if we do the right thing. But by the end of the year, there should be some kind of semblance of normalcy slowly returning.
No.
All right, what I'm trying to do is say if Eurovision comes back, you're undermining our own petition. Doesn't matter. What else is new around here? What we're saying is there are other alternatives to just cancelling Eurovision. Yeah. And we want the EBU to think about it. So if you support it, look us up. We're on change.org. Is that the one we're on?
Change.org. We'll also we'll put a link up on the Insta and on the Facebook to send you to the list. And the good thing is we're not the only ones who are pushing for this. Oh, Eurovision. Who knew Eurovision lifeguards were going to come rushing out of the ocean, bare-chested like a god? It's Serhat and San Marino.
The true Eurovision powerhouse, right?
Well, the lifeguards of Eurovision who were like, no, don't cancel it. We have options. Let's press forward. Let's go. We can still make this happen. The world needs this to happen.
San Marino is like, the EBU will be like, can you host it? And San Marino will be like, let's see how many chairs we have in the whole country before we commit. They'll just do a head count.
Will there be room in San Marino?
Valentina Monetta's backyard will host the... So you
know what? Serhat can open up his dental surgery.
Exactly.
We can all just take a seat.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Happens.
As San Marino, as we've been saying, there's plenty of other options, just show the live performances from the national, finals. There's audience, we get the experience, just show all the film clips.
Yep. As long as there's something.
Yeah.
But
Carola singing every single entry.
She's probably doing that at home anyway.
Yeah, but she's there. She's good to go. We haven't actually spoken and confirmed this with Carola, but we just know in our hearts, Carola of Sweden.
Well, yeah, Carola does get a call from the EBU every year because she is the primary possessor of wind machines in Europe.
She does. She has the monopoly.
When Europe does need wind machines, they go, hey, Kaza, that's what they call it. They call it Kaza. Can we borrow them? And she'll go, give me money. And they'll give her the money. And then Carola, they're big trucks. They all have her face on it. Yeah. And they just show up at wherever Eurovision. I'm getting lost in my own story.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, Corolla owns all the wind machines in Europe is the point of this story.
Well, I was just thinking it was because you said the last time Corolla performed at Eurovision, of course, with Invincible.
Yes.
She had would she have bronchitis or pneumonia?
At
or...
Melody Festival, and she'd lost her voice before she went on to perform at Eurovision.
Yeah.
And she still nailed it.
Yeah, she is the only, she is, people talk about, Ozzy Osbourne, Dave Grohl, so rock and roll. This woman lost her voice, kicked down a coffee table.
Oh, that's
and
right.
still charged on
And
to victory.
At one time, when she was performing at, I think it was Ulsan, she got so excited mid-performance, she pulled a plant out of its planter box and hurled it into the crowd. And the camera just cut to the woman who it had landed on, just wiping dirt off of her crotch and just laughing and smiling like it wasn't bothering her.
I need to
You've
find
never
that
seen
footage.
that?
I've never seen that
I'll show
footage.
it to you after a recording session.
That is the most rock and roll thing.
That is why Corolla is the
Ever.
queen of Eurovision, hands down. All right, so let's talk about what the new show is going to look like for a little while. We're not changing anything. We're just launching a little side project almost that's same as it was before, but it's called Eurovision Forever. We're going to go through the countries that have entered Eurovision one by one each week. Take a look at their entire, well, it depends.
Back catalogue.
You're looking at the UK and Sweden, probably not every song they've ever sent. But we're just going to take a look at the countries that have made Eurovision, the entries that they've sent, how they've shaped Eurovision, which ones we like the most, which ones we don't like.
Which ones are crimes against humanity and should have had countries banned, barred, or exiled to a remote
island? And in one country's case, which entries triggered a civil war?
Ooh.
But we will get that later on.
Yeah.
Not tonight.
I thought you were about to be and which country's entry didn't, make them have to be, deported to a country. It's you, United Kingdom.
It is the good use, not England this time. Well done. Well done, Michael on Instagram. I
Hey,
believe.
Michael, suck us.
All right, so we decided to debut. We're thinking maybe alphabetical order, maybe pulling them out of a hat.
I think we just put them on and we do it semi-final style.
All right.
We just chuck them into a hat, or you know what? First doozy to get in and say pick a country. That's the country we'll do.
Wow, Alexander will be picking a country every week. So before we get too carried away, this week we are starting with Albania.
Albania. I feel like we should have learnt their anthem, their national anthem.
Hey, Albania is so really a great country to live in, and we like being there.
Woo, we like the number 17.
Oh, yes, there's a... Don't get ahead of us. Now, Albania...
Can I say...
Sorry, go ahead.
This is what I want to say about Albania. I am disappointed Albania doesn't do better because I think Albania has one of the coolest flags in Europe. I'm just saying it.
So I think it's like an eagle, and it's like the black eagle. It's like a double-headed eagle.
Dragon, bird, evil.
On the red background. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Blood red as well.
Yeah.
Albania.
Just in the black. It's so
It's one of those flags. You know how Germany's flag looks like Belgium's flag, France's flag looks like the Netherlands flag. Is all the Scandinavian flags are the same. Then there's Albania. Who's like, you know what? We've got a two-headed bird covered in blood. Would you like to look at it? Yes, I would.
Yeah.
I'll vote
It's
for
the
it.
kind of flag that you're kind of that's the flag that you want to follow the charge into battle behind.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
exactly.
There's some Game of Thrones. We have dragons.
Yeah.
That's what that says.
Yeah, well, shall we go from their extraordinary flag to their somewhat patchy history at Eurovision?
Oh.
So, Albania debuted at Eurovision in 2004. That was their first year, so preceding quite a few countries, actually. Serbia were there already because they were Serbia-Montenegro, but Serbia wasn't there at the time. I don't think North Macedonia was there at the time. I'm not even sure Bulgaria was there at the time. They probably were. I'm probably wrong.
The places of Europe physically existed.
They existed. They weren't entrants to Eurovision at the time. Now, their selection process every year is through Festivali I Kednes.
Ikegnes.
I'm not.
Ikegnes?
One thing I need to get out of the way before we talk about this any further is I have no idea how to say 80% of the words I'm going to say tonight.
Maybe for each episode we should find
Do like a Duolingo
random...
course.
Well, no, I was going to say find a random say we should have found a random Albanian to be and maybe just record them. I've got to say some of the entries that the artists tonight. We apologise for murdering and sacrificing your family names to our Australian tongues.
Please remember, it's because we are people with cursed accents.
Yes, we'll go with that.
Yes. So they debuted in 2004, Festivali in Kenya. Now their first entry was, here we go, first stumbling block for me, ready? Was Angeza Shahini with the song Image of You, The Image of You. They actually came 7th.
Which
it's not a bad.
I'm very surprised.
Right.
With.
All right.
When I went back and I looked at the live performance of this, when she starts, I'm like, oh, bless, look, she's wearing her prom dress. Normally people say, oh, why spend so much money? You'll never wear it on another occasion. She saved money. She's thrifty. Yep. She wore it to a prom and then wore it to Eurovision.
That red dress.
You can even see in her backup dancers, some of her backup singers still in their school uniforms, just the white shirt and the tie. Who are like, I'll ironically wear my uniform now that I don't have to. It's very much a
It's like wearing your senior's jumper when you graduated 5 years ago.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Let that go.
Well, that's the first thing I noticed when I watched it back. I wasn't even listening to the song straight away. I saw that red dress. And you know what else I noticed?
What?
She was rocking the Rachel. Do you remember from the 90s? Now, it was 2004. We should be so far past the Rachel at this point.
Well, there is that beautiful time sort of delay. There was that period
in Albania, yes.
From Western to Europe and then Europe to Western. There's always kind of that
lag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of like there's stuff that appears on the other way on the French runway, and then 2 years later it makes when it's being copied.
Debuts in North Korea
by Tina at Walmart.
And the last place it shows up is Eurovision, right? So she's up there rock. I actually really love the song. It's like a cute little. I didn't mind it. It was like a bop. As I went further in, and we will get to all these Albanian entries, but as I went further in, I realized how different it was to what Albania would end up kind of becoming their staple entry.
Yeah, it's not what I picture when I think of Albania. And the other thing that I did notice is while you're watching her performance, just out of nowhere, so there's her in her prom dress, her little friends in their school uniform, and then just out of nowhere, there is this slamming rock guitar.
Yes!
Just kicks in. But the weird thing is, I was waiting for a guitarist to just, come on and give it the whole it's
really commit to it, yeah.
Never has a moment needed Slash from Guns N' Roses more in its life. Honestly, I expected him to just kick open some church doors for those who've seen the November Rain
video, yeah.
And just walk to the edge of the stage like it was just an abandoned cliff face and just
Banana Bean beautiful.
Oh, that would have been. I think she would have come higher than 7.
I think though, you can't. I don't think we should spit on 7th. There are countries who wish they could finish 7th. There are countries who desperately wish they could hit the 7th. United Kingdom after 1998. The very next year,
Who won 2004?
Ruslana from Ukraine.
Ah, yeah. Well, she's very wild dancing.
Yeah, she also, your boy Sakis Ruvas finished 3rd that year. Oh, you just blended the two songs. Wow.
That's how I roll.
So the next year...
Copyright. They can't sue you for either one if they're into...
The next year, Albania sent Ledina Salo with the song Tomorrow I Go. This was a step back because they finished 16th in the final, which became kind of a trend for Albania. Like, there's nothing more Albania than finishing in the late to low teens.
Yeah, I mean, this performance kicks off with, was it Ladina?
Ladina.
It kicks off with Ladina sort of pulling the dust covers off of her, like, backup musicians and dancers. And very quickly you come to decide you really wish you could just put the dust cover back on all of them and just put them back in the
This is the thing.
attic.
The first thing I noticed about this, I was like, oh, it's Nikki from Azerbaijan. What is she doing there, wrapped up in mummy bandages? You know,
Just very, very weird. And also, like, what got me was the inappropriate and non-approved violin techniques.
oh my
For
god!
all of our, like, violin files
like
out there, just
smacking them in the air, right?
Above their heads.
Oh.
I was just
The funny thing is, they had a drummer on stage, and there they are with their violins, just smacking them.
yeah. It was, and then at one stage, very weirdly, the drummer lays down on the ground, spreads his legs like a cello player, while a couple of the violin players get in between his legs to just sort of start thrashing their violins around.
Yes,
And I'm
that
like,
was Eurovision After Dark, I believe.
it made me uncomfortable. Like, if that happened in the workplace, like, you'd be like, oh, I don't know what this is, but I'm not comfortable.
Hello,
with it.
human resources. I'd like to file a lot of claims. So yeah, it was a step back. I don't know.
Well, the other thing as well is because I was like, what? She has this sort of like white dress on, and
Yes.
it has this big slit up the front, and with all this like red around
The red
it.
around it, yeah.
I actually went in and looked into the lyrics of this
Yeah.
song because I was kind of like,
That was your first mistake.
I don't know what. Okay, it's all of her saying, "Oh, look, you know, to your mum, don't cry because that's it. It's gonna be like my wedding and my wedding night tomorrow."
Yeah.
And then I'm like, and she's all like, "I'm in my white dress," and then I'm like, "Oh my god, the white dress with the split and the blood, is that just like, you know, the Virgin going
I was
to her?"
so
Like,
hoping
no,
you wouldn't take that
No,
from the video because
that's
that's what
what
I got as well.
I know, and I was so creeped out.
All right. So
That's
lesson.
You do not have to be a virgin on your wedding night. I'm saying that to everybody out there. That's bullshit.
Lesson for costume designers at Eurovision. Red on the bottom half of a white dress, not your first choice. Think it over and maybe use a different color. Blues, greens, yellows, not browns.
Not browns.
Not
no.
browns.
just not.
How do you feel about this song? What would you give it out of 10?
0.
Oh, okay.
I would just put the dust cover back on this one. I don't think if I was Indiana Jones
Yeah.
and I had gone into the pyramid and this was like sitting there, you know, I'd gone through the rolly ball and the spiky spitty things.
Yeah.
And there was just a thing and it was sitting there, I would keep the bag of sand. That's how I feel about this song.
Oh my god. All right, good.
What about you? What
I'm
would
going to
you
give it a 5.
Okay. Out
Because
of 100?
No, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I
Oh,
am.
okay.
I think it's interesting, and I'm starting off generous. Let's see how it goes. Now, the next year, 2006, Louise Ellie with Jare I Ftrochte.
Yes.
That
one.
That one. This was very. I've written here. He looks like a wedding singer from the 1970s.
Oh my god, I've written down it looks like he is about to try and sell me a timeshare or a used car.
But it is, as much as that plays into this, it is a song contest.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
how dated is this song?
No, you know what? I actually like the song.
You do not.
I do, and I actually remember because I actually have the CD, okay, from like back in the day because it was, you know, there's some stuff that you can't get, you know, on Spotify. and
Spotify, yes,
platforms.
there's some songs that just don't show up.
Yeah, so I'd have to get. So I've actually had this on the set. I don't mind this song. I mean, that was
Really?
from that whole kind of like, you know, tornado, like that kind of.
Oh, God, I love Tornado.
Yeah, it's, you know what, and you know what the problem is? Okay, oh my God. And the other thing, can we talk about like the 3 backup singers? They are clearly family members that he's just tried to get like a
Just
free
roped into
trip.
it?
Like one of them, like you've got these like 2 buffy guys who clearly just like staggered on from like their, you know, like drunken night out at the
From
pub
the wedding
before.
he was singing at, yeah.
But then the one on the end is clearly like his nephew who is like 16 that they've had to like smuggle out of the country. And is clearly not singing, is just sort of like opening his mouth like now and then. But I actually like this song.
See, the problem is I do have almost a vendetta against men at Eurovision. I'll always go for a pop diva.
Oh.
So when it's a man, I kind of instinctively
Sexist.
just lose interest. Yes. I certainly want to be sexist against it's a man. So
Right on, sister.
right. So what are you giving it out of 10?
Oh, I'm actually going to give it...
Not a 10.
No. Well, see, you know what? Oh, see, when we say we're giving it a score, are we giving it a score just as a song?
Oh,
or
the
are we
whole
including the
kit and
performance?
kabang. Kit and caboodle.
Okay. I think the problem with this song is I think it's an excellent song and I think it would have done a lot better, but it's staging.
It's 70s wedding
so
singer staging.
Awful.
Adam Sandler
creepy.
standing on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I would actually give, like, the song an 8.
Ooh.
But because of staging, I'm bringing it down to a 5.
All right, 5 from you.
Yeah.
I am going to dish out a solid. I'm going to go 4 and be generous.
Ooh.
All right. Now, the very next year, 2007, we're starting a little track record for Albania.
Can I say, when we come to 2007, can I just say Albania? Hear my plea.
Honestly, it was probably better than the performance. Frederick Nadocci, I believe his name is, and he did the song, as you said, Hear My Plea.
No. He didn't do the song.
He
He did the song.
Hear My Plea. Whole different kit and caboodle, that one.
Yeah.
17th in the semis, this one. What do you think? Deserve? Thoughts?
Well,
You've
there
clearly
are many,
memorialized the song.
There are many things to consider.
Not
about this.
memorialized, memorized. Let's
Memorized.
clear
Yeah,
that
I
up.
was like,
Let's
oh,
clear that up.
yeah.
Mouth fucked up that one.
Okay, there's so much to take in about this song, and it's not just the song, it's also the performance as well. We need to also give props and recognition in this song, okay? Because this song, there's so much going on I love about this song and I love about this performance, and it gave me like just goosebumps of happiness. There is so much, including his lady backup singer.
In the wedding dress?
It's not just a wedding dress. It's not just for everyone out there who's seen there's a movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and there is also a TV show.
I almost
that's
spat
called,
out my tea when you said that.
There's also a TV show in the United Kingdom called My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding.
Yes, this is what I thought of.
Where people just have the most ridiculous, like $50,000 like poofy dresses.
How dare you? That's homophobic.
Have like that have like live butterflies and freaking pigeons in them that like
the train goes on from bloody Scotland to bloody England to France.
They can't physically walk. Oh my god, there was one woman, the dressmaker had to actually come to the wedding, okay, and was no more than 5 feet from her because she had all this electronic stuff in her dress because all these like butterflies and there were all these lights in the dress, and there was an actual risk that the dress would catch fire. So she had to bring the dressmaker who walked with a discreetly hidden fire extinguisher for the entire wedding. And that's what this woman is wearing on stage. And I think, I'm going to call it, I haven't officially measured it, but I think it is the biggest hair ever on the Eurovision stage.
Right, it's crazy here. Like, she almost completely takes away from Frederick, who is meant to be the star of the show. Yeah. But here she is in a ridiculous, my
glory.
God.
Her glory. But see, the thing is, he is absolutely, it's not just her, as if that by itself and all the glory that she brings.
Yes.
And her hair, which is a Trojan horse, you could fit the Albanian army.
You could fit Albania in there,
in there. Like, oh my God. he is flanked on the other side by, oh my God, there is the most passionate love story that I've ever seen performed at Eurovision between that violinist and her violin. Oh my God. You know what?
She's very passionate about her craft, Elizabeth.
Oh my God, her violin has a plea and she is hearing it. She dropped to her knees in orgasmic, like, plea hearing at one stage.
I feel like at some point in that performance, the Russians were like, take notes. Next year we'll win doing, like, basically this. And they came back 2008.
Just throw everything. Yeah. Throw everything.
Just, if they can do it, we can do it. Go balls to the wall. Get every LED screen in the world. So, song-wise, how do you...
I love it.
Yeah, I don't. I find it
Really?
bland.
Oh.
I really didn't feel anything for this one.
Oh, is it just because he's a man?
No, because, you know me, I love Mons, but...
Who doesn't love Mons?
I know, right?
Yeah.
So, maybe it's just this is the era when, and it's hard to break this into a part of Albania's history, because Albania, as we are learning, friggin' loves to send rock entries, right?
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't think it's my cup of tea. I think...
I love it. See, this year is everything that I want from a Eurovision performance.
Yeah, well, the next year, Russia stole the blueprint.
Yeah, and they were
that's
right
your
to.
all-time
They were
favourite
right
winner.
to. The other thing, like, after he sees the violinist, like, fall to her knees in just, like, you know, violinist ecstasy, not to be outdone, he's quickly like, oh God, can't be outshined. He's dropping to his knees, just like, oh, my plea. Then, like, the gypsy woman would, but she literally couldn't move without killing everyone on stage.
So what are you giving it out of 10?
I am giving this 9 out of 10.
Wow.
For song and performance.
It's a good song. I'm going to give it a 6. That's what I'm going to give it.
Yeah, okay, that's it's
Generous on my part, mostly for the dress and the violin groping.
It's just I like it when people just go big and they commit to it.
Yeah.
And he commits. He wants you to hear his plea.
Moving right along, the next year, also finishing 17th, but they qualified this time. So 17th in the final was Olta Boka with the song, oh, I wish I could read my own handwriting, or Albanian, Zemren Ilame Peng, following in the classic Albanian tradition. It's a rock band, and they're wearing all black.
Yes.
I think there's a trend that starts to emerge of Albanian entries going black, white, black, white, black, white, 17th. So, walk us through this one. How did you feel when you saw this?
To be honest,
performance?
I couldn't take in much of the song because I was just so distracted by her confusing jacket.
Oh my God, the jacket. I'm so here for the jacket.
It's ridiculous. It ends like it's so like high, like waisted, and like her belly is like hanging out, but the back is so flappy.
I feel like Paris
down to her
Hilton would have
knees.
rocked this in like 2003.
Oh no, and like
in
the
like
weird
hot pink
cuffs
Oh.
with like the little musicy notes. No, it just
And they're on the
distracted me.
collar as well, the music
Yes,
notes.
no.
I love that we noticed the same
Yeah.
tidbits. I think it's great. I think it really adds to the podcast.
You know what? It was ahead of its time in that I think that now in like with what's going on in the world and we're all spending a lot of like self-isolation time at home and we're all suddenly decide, you know, like, oh, you know what? I've always wanted to sew.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to do it. I think when we are able to come back in society, a lot of people are going to be wearing some like fuck-ass,
like
horrible outfits.
Oh, like crocheted sweaters.
Yeah, but you've only got what you've got at home, so people have just made like ball gowns out of like soiled pillowcases and things. That's what I get from this jacket.
Yeah, I really wasn't.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm. There are some songs that I really love from Albania, but I feel like on the whole, it's just not going to gel with me as a listener when they send the same kind of content year after year.
Yeah, I found it wasn't a very good live vocal performance.
No, yeah.
Like it was just kind
I
of.
mean, better than one. Let's credit where it's due. Better than you and me could have done.
You know,
We're garbage.
that's literally everyone except I'm and I'm scared tonight.
Yes, except Nikki.
Yeah, we can still do better than that. But everyone else, hands down, clearly better than. But that's not where we should set the bar.
No, of course not. But this one actually qualified for the final.
I don't
don't understand this one
And
either.
the other thing as well is like you've got like you had the drummer and you had the guy there like walking around like with my bass guitar.
Yeah.
And then just randomly you've got some like chick.
Yeah,
With, like a guitar.
And it's like,
just-
are you meant to be here, or did you just like stay on since like the Estonian performance or something?
Yeah, just like with her little acoustic guitar, just sort of like sitting there randomly, completely. She's detached. She's got nothing to give from this performance. It was kind of, she's just like, I'm emotionally checked out, whatever, but I'm here fulfilling my
Contractual obligation. What are you giving it out of 10?
Oh, 4.
I was going to give it a 3. So, all right, 4 out of 3. Now, 2009, and I Fall in Love. It's Casey Tolla with the song Carry Me in Your Dreams. Now, qualified again. I think we're going to disagree on this one. 17th, which is a trend here.
What?
3rd year in a row, they finished 17th in one spot or another. I freaking love this.
No.
I
you
love
do
this.
not.
I love the song. It's almost like a song that you would see lose in the first round of Melody Festivalen. Do you know what I mean? Like some washed up pop diva from the 80s is like, oh yes, I've got a song. It's written by like the guy who wrote Euphoria's lawnmower guy, and then his hairdresser as well. They wrote me a song, so they're like professionals. This is my song, and it comes like 7th in a semi-final.
Yeah.
But this one qualified. Do you want to talk about the performance?
Oh,
Blue Disco Face. Blue Disco Face and the mimes. That's how I boil this one down.
It's so ironic that this song is Carry Me in Your Dreams, because this is literally nothing but nightmares. Like, there's everything from like, oh my God, there is the weird, like, sort of blue-green Gumby guy giving off a sex offender
First
vibe,
of all,
who's just like touching her.
Dotter,
she's dressed like a ballerina.
Dotter
as well.
from Melody Festivalen stole his face and put it on her boobs.
Oh.
Disco Face ended up on Dotter's disco boobs.
I'm not sure that makes it any less creepy.
No, I wasn't trying to.
Well, so he's just there like in the weird like sex, you know, Gumby, and then on either side she has twin gymnasts doing freaky things with their bodies while they're painted as clowns.
It's insane, right?
Oh my God.
Now, I'm giving points to this just because it is memorable for all the wrong reasons.
No.
One thing I really have to say, bloody love her dress. Love that dress.
Oh,
I'm crazy for her dress.
It is 100%. That's where when they wrote Sex in the City, they were obviously looking and they were like, that's clearly where they stole that from. Just like the ballerina look. That's clearly where that's stolen
love
from.
that dress. Oh my God, I'm wild for it. What are you giving it out of 10?
You know what? Oh my God, and the other thing, are we going to talk about the fact she has no dance ability whatsoever?
She doesn't need it.
It is the most
She's got
awkward
gymnast
thing
mimes.
when she's trying to like move to distract you from her robot, like, oh God, what do I do? You can hear her counting, up, left, point, turn.
Doing the robot, yeah.
It's horrible. I would describe this performance. I've literally, you can see, I've just written the 3 words.
Is that what you wrote? Sweet Jesus, no. What are you going to give it?
I give this 1.
1, wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10.
Oh my God, no.
Which is one of the highest ratings we've given so far.
That's not this we. What's not this we?
Wait. All right. The next year, 2010, Juliana Pasha. It's All About You. Now, this one made the final and finished. They did not finish 17th this year. Albania surged all the way to 16th.
Ooh. You know what?
In the right direction.
For something that took place in 2010, she has some of the most 1980s hair.
Right.
I have ever, like, what is it with Albania and crazy hair? And the violinist, He's almost at Gypsy Woman, Hear My Please, like size.
I've written Rocky, right? It took a dark turn in 2010. So the year before, obviously, there was Casey
Yeah.
and her bright white dress
Yeah.
and pink.
Yeah.
And then they go all dark again.
Yeah.
Well, this is an interesting one. I want to pull off that 70s mum hair that Juliana is rocking. Like, you know what? Looking back, actually, I feel like Albania was stuck in the 1970s for a while here.
It was clearly 1981.
Yeah,
oh my
they've
God.
just crossed into
Clearly.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What do you think about the song?
Yeah, no, it's I forgot it as soon as I heard it, and not even like at the end of the song I forgot it. Like literally as she was
Mid-song.
singing it, I was forgetting it.
It was like in one ear, out the other.
Yeah,
I liked it, actually. I think you and me are never going to agree on Albania, I don't think. I think it should have done better than 16th.
I really don't think it should have.
Thinking of 2010, what a patchy year that was.
Who won 2010?
Lena, Satellite.
Ah.
So, yeah. Any other thoughts on this one?
Yeah, no, I'm happy to. Although I do remember when looking at the violinist hair, I remember that Albania really does have a lot to answer for in terms of the whole of the ozone layer with the amount of hairspray that they have used over there. The good chunk of it is just Albanian hair products. I'm saying it now.
Yeah. All right, what are you going to give it out of 10?
1.
1. I'm
Yeah.
going to give it a 7. All right, 2011. I wish I could read my own handwriting sometimes. I really do. Orela Kace? Is that what you've written down as well?
I've written down the Albanian pink.
This is right. Feel the passion. This one did not make it to the final. It finished 13th in the semi-final.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't so bad like the live performance, like when it got going.
Yes.
I kind of liked it. The problem was it took too much to get there. Her dress was just weird and wrong. Although I will give you points if you were drinking the shot game with the pyrotechnics. It was a real winner.
So this is what I noted down, that I feel like they traded the song in for every pyrotechnic they could find, and then they picked up every smoke machine in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was more stage show than song, this one, I think.
I got the feeling that they couldn't commit to a style, and so it was sort of all over the place.
They were like, let's cover over it with fire and smoke.
Yeah.
Right? It was rock again. This is really their cup of tea, I think. Which is ironic because you and me are drinking cups of tea while we record today.
It's ironic. Are we drinking tea or
are we representing Albania?
Albania's next song? Are you drinking tea or are you drinking chai?
We're going to cross that bridge, but first we've got to rate this song out of 10. So what are you giving it? I'm going to give it a 3.
I'm giving it 5.
3 and a 5. Alrighty, so the time you have been waiting for. 2012 came, Albania's best performance of all time, and you would know it from this.
Chai!
I liked her version better. Rona Nishliu with Seuss.
Look, I've got to admit, like, this was a brave selection.
Yes,
like,
brave is such a good word for it.
Yeah, like, I've always said, like, I love it when countries just go balls to the walls, throw it to the ground. Like, and Albania just, like, everything about this is, like, and, like, although I'm distracted by, like, the weird cat turd that she has,
So
like...
she's got, like, a possum sitting on her head.
Yeah.
And then it, like, has, it's like it leaked around her neck. It's wild.
To me, it looks like it's a cat on her head, and it has just, like, it's got the diarrhea.
Right.
And it's just
Delightful.
like a giant turd that's snake, and I find it very distracting.
Off-putting,
Yeah.
Interesting.
But a brave song.
Yeah. It is a brave song, Rona initially. I kind of love it. At the time...
I love it and hate it simultaneously.
Yeah, at the time, I was like, what is happening? Who is giving you points? Did everyone...
Yeah.
And I look back on it and I'm like, that is brave.
I think the world just got behind the fact that they were like,
They're like, thank you for being different.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So...
Yeah, some music can sort of get a bit, generic. Although I will say, from what I've heard, she is the absolute worst person in the office to work with.
Why?
Oh my God. Every time you're like, I'm going to do a tea run. Anyone want a tea? Coffee? I'll have a coffee. Oh, what do you want?
Rona, what do you want?
Chai! Ugh.
Oh my god. How long have you been working on that joke?
All afternoon.
All right, so this is, I'm going to say it, my favorite Albanian entry. I
Oh.
think it is. There's another one coming up later that I'm
Yeah.
also a big fan of.
What are you going to give it?
I am going to give it a solid 9 out of 10, just for
Ooh.
being so ballsy.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8.
An 8.
Just for going for it.
Yeah, good on you, Albania. There's a message to be learned here. Balls to the wall, and you do well. 2013. Now their run of success. I say run of success. They finished 5th once. Comes to an end with Adrian Lulguraj and Bleda Seiko with the song Identitet. Now, these guys did not qualify.
There's a reason. There are many reasons.
There are many reasons. They went back to rock again.
Yeah.
They're back in
Well,
rock, which
it's kind of.
look. If you got it, flaunt it. That's what
They
I
did
think.
not have it though.
They didn't have it.
So many, and although I did notice, was it just me or was that the Edge from U2 playing the drums? Like, if that wasn't the Edge, I don't know. Like,
I don't know
you
where
can't
the
tell me
Edge
that
was.
wasn't the Edge.
No, she's
Oh.
convinced. I don't actually. This is one of the rules that I know we've brought up tonight already. If you don't remember it, there's a reason you don't remember it.
Yeah. And you know what? I think the main reason you don't remember it is they have a lead singer, but at the beginning, the lead singer isn't singing.
Yes.
They have. It was clearly, I don't know, bring your creepy uncle to work day. And for some reason, picture this guy. Okay, Dave Grohl, but instead of being a musical rock star, you'd maybe been living in your van for quite a few decades, just, getting your food out of bins and not having a lot of human contact.
He would do so well in the shutdown of society.
This is
He's blossoming right now.
creepy. And he just you're just like, why are you singing? Go away.
Yeah, what are you doing here? Was he Bleda Seiko? I'm not really sure who was who on the stage in this performance.
But I will say, oh my God, halfway through it, his guitar begins to shoot pyrotechnics.
Oh, that was so...
Oh.
I was like, Lordy are calling. They want their gimmick back.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I just don't remember it. Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I was going to say, the only thing is if I had that guitar, I would use it to keep that guitarist at bay. Would just be like, get back to your van, creepy man.
Yeah, it just feels like, especially if you take it out of the context of that contest.
Yeah.
And when I have gone through all of the Albanian entries, it really just fades into the background. It feels really forgettable.
Yeah.
No offense. Thank you for writing a song. Thank you for contributing it to the Eurovision tapestry, but it wasn't my cup of tea. I'm
Yeah.
going to give it a 1.
Yeah, I'm going to give it like a 4. 2014.
2014. Now, this one continued that run of not qualifying. It is Hershey Matmuja. I think her name is Hershey Matmuja. I don't know. With the song One Night's Anger.
The way that I would describe this performance is when she appears is the Albanian Karen is here to see the manager. She has a serious attitude. She has a serious problem and she is not here to mess about and she will not speak to you, just your supervisor.
I remember her standing on like that iceberg kind
It
of
just
thing.
sort of goes up and goes down. It's
Yeah.
Just
It was like, oh, okay.
Oh.
It's like her talking to a lower working manager, then getting promoted up to
like the boss manager.
and back to like
State manager.
state manager, and then up to the national director.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the song itself. It does have some rocky elements.
Well,
again.
there's a random dude with a guitar who just sort of wanders about doing his own thing.
Yeah.
We're not sure if he's actually with the performance or it's just a man with a guitar.
It's just
who
the guy from
coincidentally-
2013 that's
Yeah.
still there. There's not much I want to say about One Night's Anger. This was,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this was a big fan favorite at the time.
1. I give it 1.
Don't know why you're giving it a 1. I'm gonna give it 5. All right, 2015, El Haidadani with the song "I'm Alive," and lo and behold, Albania qualified.
When I listen to her song and her at times very patchy, low, vocal performance.
Yeah.
And ironically, when she's like, I'm alive, my thought was, ooh, barely hanging on though.
I actually never minded this song. I like this song. I am alive. Yeah, it's
1.
1 from you.
1.
I'm going to go into a little more detail. I know you've had your fill of her. I didn't mind it. I thought it was a stronger song than they'd sent in previous years. I think they'd stepped in the right direction. They did qualify. They finished their beloved 17th again.
Woo!
Never
They've got a
change
goal.
Albania.
They reach it.
Never change Albania. She's a good singer. Maybe it wasn't the right match for a Eurovision entry. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 6, though. I'm going to go with a strong 6.
All right, 2016 with Anita Tarifa.
Oh, I see. Once the shoe's on the other foot. You can't pronounce them either. Yes, with the song Fairy Tale.
Oh, come up with something original.
I know, right? I'm in love with a fairy tale. Not this song, though. It's a different song. It is a little bit different from what they normally send. This one's less rocky. She wore gold. She got out of the white, black outfit
But
rule that Albania seems to be following.
I would argue, unless you're more like Morticia Adams, your hair and your dress should not be the same color. Like that's just dressing yourself 101.
Yes,
I'm just saying.
exactly. You need to pop somewhere.
Yeah, and there
For
was
example, I'm wearing a pink hoodie, but I do not have pink hair. It's the rule that we should all
or even
follow.
it'd be different pinks. You know,
Yeah,
you can
change
maybe
it up
get
a
away
little
with
bit.
it, but just not. All I know is at one stage up on like the projected sort of screen behind her, there was what looked like a staircase sort of appeared, and my thought was, oh my god, I just want to push you down those stairs and slam the door so this will end. I give this 0.
You're giving it a 0.
I'm giving it a 0.
Look, I'm also not going to be too generous with this one. I am going to give her a 4. Just because I really love that bloody gold dress.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting
You
closer.
can pull that dress off.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Getting closer to the modern day. Lindita in 2017 with the song World.
Oh, and she starts off wearing a white tablecloth on her head.
I know, right?
I don't know why.
It's like a napkin. Like she's just like dropped it on there.
Yeah,
and
and
I'm
then
like,
she flicks her head and it falls off.
I'm
And
like-
you're like, yeah. Oh my god, this is out of this. Oh, this performance irks me so much because every when people are like, oh, I'm nervous. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yes.
Every 5 freaking seconds, she kept making the
heart.
heart shape with her
That's
hands,
right.
and I was like, I will punch you if you do that again. It so annoyed me. I was just every time she flapped, I'm like, oh, if you freaking
if
do
you
that
put them
again.
together, I'm
Oh.
gonna have words with the manager. Actually, who was it that was seeing the manager? Was Hershey's gonna have a word with
Albanian
him?
Karen's gonna see the manager.
Yeah, no, it's. I don't dislike the song.
Yeah.
I didn't like the performance. That was my thing with World.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little bit. Oh yeah, you've got a performance.
Yeah, you just couldn't connect with it.
Yeah,
couldn't connect.
something was missing from that performance.
Yeah.
The heart hands didn't help. It
Yeah.
was like, stop it. Once or twice, it's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah,
yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
When you do it all the time, you start to notice that
Yeah.
it must be a nervous tick or something almost.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
A 3. Hey,
Yeah.
she was wearing white again.
Exactly.
Back
Yeah,
to
that's
the
it.
rule. Did you also notice that she had borrowed all of Corolla's wind machines as well?
Oh,
She was about to fly off.
Oh, I wish she had. Saved 3
I'm gonna
minutes
give
of my
it,
life.
I'm going to give it a 6.
Yeah.
All right, we move to
2018.
2018. Ugent Bushpepper with the song Mole. I think it's pronounced Mole. I'm not sure.
You're a mole.
Now, this is Alexander's favourite song. Alexander, King of the Doozes. This is his favourite entry in Albanian history.
Can I say, like, there are things? Oh, again, oh my god, like his outfit, his jacket, it just irritates me. There's all these holes, and you're just like, that defeats the point of wearing a purpose.
I know,
you know,
right?
just this doesn't. And oh my god, but can I say, like, a few little times it sort of starts out, it's not really doing anything.
Yep.
But then he just like goes off, and that little fella
Yes,
produces
right?
some notes and some sounds I was not expecting.
He shouldn't
and
be
you're just
legally
like,
able to do it.
Boom!
How good was this entry? This
Yeah.
is one of my favourite entries, not just from Albania, but one of my favourite entries that year.
Yeah,
Top 10 for me, absolutely, for sure. He
Yeah,
can
absolutely.
sing.
yeah.
It may be Albanian rock, seems to always be Albanian rock, but this one was mint.
Yeah.
Like, I loved it.
I only think the only problem is you could see that he really wanted to just go hard, but
Yeah.
there was they held it back. I think if he went with his instincts and just went hard, that song would have, because there were some bits where it was just very sort of generic and it didn't quite kick off, and it's this weird, is it kind of rock or it's kind of not? I think if he had just followed his instincts, they would have done a lot better.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I absolutely love this song. I'm going to give it an 8.
I give it a solid 8 as well. It's a good song.
2 8s.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
it's definitely their strongest entry since Seuss.
I think...
But how do we know what his coffee order is? That's my only problem with the song.
Yeah,
if you don't announce
that's the only problem I have. Exactly. Oh my god, you know how someone suggested we should do a, where are they now? Oh my god, can you imagine her if she's got a job in Starbucks? Doesn't matter what you order, just who's ready for the chai.
I ordered a macchiato. Take this back. Rona, stop making chai.
I'm sorry, did you mean chai?
Oh, Hershey would talk to the manager about it, honestly. Now, we go back to last year's performance. Jonida Malaki with this... Oh, this is the hardest one to pronounce of them all. Keju Tokes. Guess what they finished? 17th, my friend. Albania do like to finish 17th. I was stunned this one qualified.
Oh, well, see, I'm not surprised at all. I really like this one. I dig. I think she's got a really good voice.
She does have a really good voice.
Really good voice. It's a really strong voice. It's an interesting song. I like it. It's different. They sort of went off on that sort of left field. The dress, by the way, her outfit, I love her outfit. Everything.
Oh my god! Okay,
amazing.
You know what we need to do from next week?
What?
Implement a triple ranking system. Song, performance, outfit.
Oh.
And we can figure that out as we go.
You know what? I'm happy to go back and do
No,
that.
we're not doing that. We're too far past it now. No, when I say I was stunned that it qualified, it didn't strike me as a song that Europe would connect to. It's a song that I love. Terrific voice, bit forgettable. That's what I found, that maybe I thought Europe would be like, it's just another Albanian woman warbling.
You know what I think the problem was? Looking at it, she didn't, there wasn't that full commitment.
Yes.
That's because when I found, with Jamala, I know you're not a fan of that song, but when she does that song live, she gave everything to that performance.
Yes.
Even there were times where she sacrificed notes for emotion, and you were like, I felt it.
You know what? She sacrificed a good Eurovision winner for her grandma.
But she in that performance, she felt it, she connected, she went there, and with this performance, I feel that she held back.
Yeah.
I think if she had done a Jamala and went for it, that's what stopped her from placing higher.
Yeah, I feel like there was something there
Holding her back. She was too dignified.
Yeah.
She needed to get ugly face and just feel it and drop it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
balls
just
to the wall respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, just I am here, I am Albania, and I want chai!
Cannot wait until this week is over. What are you going to give it out of 10?
Oh, I'm going to give it a 7.
I'm also going to give it a 7.
Which one are you picking as your favourite?
I have to go, and it is a difficult task for me, going between my two picks, which are 2018 with Mole by Eugent Bushpepper and 2012's Sus by Rona Nishlio. But by the narrowest of margins, I'm giving it to Sus 2012.
Oh, yeah.
Possum hair, weird strand on her neck,
Thing, yeah.
cat diarrhea, whatever you want to call it.
Brave choice. I can't fault you for that.
I'm going for, while maybe Mole is a song that I, and I don't think it's about going to the mall. We're probably mispronouncing it as well. It's probably a song I prefer. I love the guts that it took in 2012.
Yeah.
Strong win for her.
Well, see, the question is now, what are we going to do if we disagree on what's the best song?
We're going by the point ranking that we gave them.
Oh, I would have given them more points. I personally, my favourite of Albania, it was not what I was thinking where we started, but my winner is 2007.
Yes.
Fredrik
You love him so much, you can't say so.
Hear my plea. How do I say your name?
Yeah.
Everything, not just like the song is dramatic and just the performance, everything about that. I love it. That's what I want from Eurovision.
So what we're going to do now is put it out to the fans. So we're going to put our 2 picks up.
Yep.
If you want to add your own pick to that one and vote for it, you're more than welcome to do that. We'll put our top 3 up and you can tell us which one is your favorite. All right, now to finish us off tonight, you have an Albanian-based comment of the week.
Comment of the week. Now this, it was not because I was biased, but it was just as I was going, when I came across this live performance, I was like, I have to know, just curious, what's the public saying about this? And this was, of course, to 2007's Hear My Plea, because it's such a crazy performance. Dee 2 years ago, who says, I can't be the only one getting villain-like vibes from this song, right? This was backed up by a whole that 2 years ago who recorded Albania serving me Bond villain realness. So there was like, this was a general
There's a trend.
vibe.
There's a vibe, yeah.
On the other hand, there was people who had a lot of negative comments about this. We have Ladina S from 7 months ago who simply says, I'm Albanian.
Oh, authority on the matter.
First of all, this song is not for Eurovision. It's too epic and it may sound weird for foreigners. Racist. Can I say I'm Australian? This song is exactly why I come to Eurovision, and it sounds amazing to
Maybe you're
foreigners.
Albanian.
You know, I could be. Awesome flag. I do love the flag.
That's true.
Then on the other flip of the side, you had Anthony Franco 88, who simply said, I think this was very nice.
Well, that's polite.
Then again, Adrian ESC a few months ago had the reaction, what the fuck? My ears! Multiple exclamation points. But I think comment of the week goes to Juan Miguel Delgado 3 years ago.
Hey, Juan.
Who
Miguel.
won my heart when he sums up what we're all thinking. I love when Albania go creepy. That's our comment of the
That's your
week.
comment of the week. So thank you for tuning in for Albania Week. Remember, this is the new format of the show. So tune in next week.
Sign our petition.
Sign our petition. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook.
Save Eurovision
Save
2020.
Eurovision. Hashtag uncancel Eurovision. There's so many options. Let us know. Look, Liz will put in some more detail on the Facebook page.
Yes.
She'll put up a poorly edited photo on Instagram probably as well.
That's how I roll.
She's a professional. So please stick with us. Next week it is Andorra week,
Woo!
which should be a pretty quick episode. But do bear with us. We are going to get to the really good stuff in a few weeks' time.
Andorra week is
They've
the
never
really good
qualified.
stuff.
Let's see what countries are coming up next. Belgium, Belarus, Bolivia. Nope, went too far. All right, catch us next week for Andorra. We will see you then. Love you. Good night.
Ciao.